Hi, this is from the channel. You may have heard that marmots are nature's true hibernators. That's not actually true. Hibernation is a special state of winter survival that some animals enter. And sure, marmots do hibernate, but they're not the only ones. So why are they nature's true hibernators? Well, it's because of what happens when their hibernation goes wrong. Like most hibernators, marmots spend their winters sleeping to save energy. When they do this, their body temperature drops, their breathing slows, and their heart rate nearly stops. But unlike most other hibernators, marmots can't regulate their body temperature well while they're hibernating. Their internal thermostat is broken, so to speak, and they rely on external heat sources to warm up. If there isn't a heat source, their hibernation goes horribly wrong. Hibernation is all about balance. You want your body to stay just warm enough to keep from freezing, but not so warm that you use up all your energy reserves. Usually, animals keep their core temperature around 5 degrees Celsius above the freezing mark. But marmots can't regulate this. Sometimes their body temperatures drop below zero during the winter, and that's a big problem because ice can form in their body. But here's where things get interesting. Scientists recently discovered that this ice doesn't just build up in their bodies. The ice is water that's literally sucked out of the air by these little guys. See, their bodies work like a desiccant, pulling moisture out of the environment through osmosis. They basically dry themselves out. And that might sound like a bad thing, but drying themselves out is actually how they prevent ice from building up in their bodies. There's an enzyme called superoxide dismutase that helps break down harmful compounds that can damage cells. And it turns out that this enzyme works way better in dry environments. By dehydrating themselves, marmosets activate this enzyme, which prevents ice from damaging their cells. And the best part is that they can control this process. When they start to rehydrate, that enzyme kicks into action, protecting them from ice damage. Once the ice starts to melt, the water moves from their tissues into their urine, and then they pee it out. It's kind of like when you get a paper cut and your body automatically sends platelets to the wound to keep you from bleeding to death. Only instead of blood clotting, it's pee making. And just like blood clotting, this process doesn't always work. Sometimes the ice does end up doing damage, and that's why sometimes the marmot just doesn't wake up. In those cases, it's a race against time. If they don't rehydrate quickly enough, they'll die from dehydration. But if they rehydrate too quickly, they'll die from ice damage. Since 2008, researchers have been monitoring a group of marmots in the Italian Alps. Out of 214 individuals they've been tracking, only one has died from dehydration. And based on the condition of their bodies, scientists think that most of the others died from ice damage. So far, no one has ever seen a ground squirrel or marmot successfully rehydrate after a botched hibernation. But maybe someday we'll see one wake up from its winter slumber and shake off the ice. In the meantime, you can watch this video about adorable baby marmots. Yeah, there really is such a thing as too much cuteness. It's a serious problem.